Join me as I dive into this eerie dark tunnel and see if I can find my way out without losing my mind. There's something about dark tunnels that's both fascinating and terrifying at the same time. On one hand, they spark our imagination and curiosity, making us wonder what secrets they might hold. On the other hand, they evoke a primal fear that's hard to shake off. For some, it's the fear of the unknown, while for others, it's the fear of being trapped or lost. But what is it about dark tunnels that draws us in, despite the risks and uncertainties? As we venture into the darkness, the allure of the unknown is hard to resist. We're drawn to the thrill of discovery, the rush of adrenaline, and the sense of accomplishment that comes with overcoming our fears. But what happens when the thrill wears off, and we're left with nothing but the darkness and our own thoughts? That's when the real challenge begins. In this video, we're going to explore the psychology of being lost in a dark tunnel. We'll delve into the history of these underground passages, sharing personal anecdotes and stories from others who have ventured into the unknown. We'll also examine the psychological impact of being in such environments and what it reveals about our deepest fears and desires. Imagine being stuck in a dark tunnel with no end in sight. The air is thick with the smell of dampness and decay. Every sound is amplified, making you jump at the slightest creak or echo. Your heart is racing, and your senses are on high alert. You're disoriented, lost, and vulnerable. This is the central challenge of navigating through a dark tunnel, to overcome the fear of the unknown and find a way out. When we're faced with uncertainty, our minds play tricks on us. We start to question our own sanity, and the darkness begins to feel like a living entity that's closing in on us. It's easy to get caught up in the fear and anxiety, but that's when we need to dig deep and find the strength to push forward. The fear of being lost in a dark tunnel is primal and universal. It's a fear that's hardwired into our DNA, a reminder of the dangers that lurk in the unknown. But it's also a fear that can be overcome, with the right mindset and preparation. As we navigate through the darkness, we're forced to confront our deepest fears and insecurities. We're forced to confront the unknown, and to find a way to overcome it. And that's when the real growth happens. When I think back on my own experiences in dark tunnels, I'm reminded of the time I got lost in an abandoned mine shaft. I was with a group of friends, and we were exploring the tunnels, laughing and joking around. But as we ventured deeper into the mine, the air grew thick with the smell of gas, and we realized we were lost. We argued and panicked, trying to find a way out. But as the hours ticked by, we realized that we were stuck. That's when the fear started to creep in, and we began to question our own sanity. But as we sat there in the darkness, something shifted. We started to talk, to share our fears and insecurities. And that's when we realized that we were all in this together. We eventually found our way out of the mine, but the experience stayed with me. It taught me that even in the darkest of times, there's always hope. And that's what I want to share with you in this video, the hope that comes from facing our fears head-on. Dark tunnels have been a part of human history for centuries. From ancient underground cities to abandoned mine shafts, these tunnels have seen it all. They've witnessed human triumph and tragedy, and they've been the site of countless mysteries and legends. But what is it about dark tunnels that draws us in? Is it the thrill of discovery, or the rush of adrenaline that comes with exploring the unknown? Or is it something deeper, something that speaks to our primal fears and desires? As we delve deeper into the history of dark tunnels, we'll explore the psychological impact of being in such environments. We'll examine the science behind our fears, and the reasons why we're drawn to these underground passages. From claustrophobia to acrophobia, there are countless phobias that are triggered by dark tunnels. But what's fascinating is that these phobias are often linked to deeper psychological issues. They're linked to our childhood experiences, our relationships, and our deepest fears. When we're faced with the unknown, our minds start to race. We imagine the worst-case scenario, and our fears take over. But what if we could rewire our brains to respond differently? What if we could train ourselves to face our fears head-on, and to overcome them? That's when the real growth happens. That's when we start to uncover the secrets of the human mind, and the mysteries of the dark tunnel. As I venture deeper into this eerie dark tunnel, I'm struck by the silence. It's a silence that's almost deafening, a silence that's punctuated only by the sound of my own breathing. I've been walking for what feels like hours, but I know I've only been moving for a few minutes. The darkness is disorienting, making it impossible to gauge time or distance. Suddenly, I hear a faint noise. It's a rumbling sound, like thunder in the distance. My heart starts to race as I try to pinpoint the source of the noise. That's when I stumble upon an underground chamber, hidden deep beneath the earth. It's a cavernous space, lit only by a faint, flickering light. As I explore the chamber, I realize that I'm not alone. There are symbols etched into the walls, symbols that seem to pulse with a mysterious energy. I'm struck by the feeling that I've stumbled upon something much bigger than myself. Something that's been hidden for centuries, waiting to be uncovered. The discovery is exhilarating, but it's also terrifying. I realize that I've uncovered a secret that's been hidden for centuries, a secret that could change everything. As I make my way back through the tunnel, I'm left with more questions than answers. What secrets lie hidden in the darkness? And what will it take to uncover them? As we recap the key points discussed in this video, it's clear that being lost in a dark tunnel is a universal fear that we can all relate to. It's a fear that's hardwired into our DNA, a fear that's triggered by the unknown. But it's also a fear that can be overcome. With the right mindset and preparation, we can face our fears head-on and find a way out of the darkness. So the next time you find yourself lost in a dark tunnel, remember that you're not alone. Remember that the fear is real, but it's also temporary. And remember that the real growth happens when we face our fears head-on and find a way to overcome them. If you've got a story about being lost in a dark tunnel, share it with me in the comments below. And if you want to check out another related video on my channel, be sure to click the link in the description box. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.